harbour and we go back to the place where we were. Oh.
Yes, yes, it is on YouTube. Welcome back to Foxton Locks. We're heading up the flight of locks today, and boy is it busy with gongoozlers. Paul is on lock duty, and I'm being asked questions from the towpath about all sorts of things boat related. Here are a few examples. Where are we heading? Now that's a very good question. I'm not too sure, to be honest with you, at this point. Our end goal is to get past Crick, but for today, getting back to where we left the car would be a good start. The answer I gave on the day was we're heading back round towards Crick, and most people smile and nod as if they know where that is. Do we live aboard? Now, how do you answer this one? Because technically we have been living aboard for the past few days, and hopefully you've been travelling with us to Market Harbour and back to here. So yes, we can live aboard, but there will come a time when we need to be back at home so that we can head off to work. I suppose the simple answer for this one is not all the time. How many of you are there on board? Well, today there's 2 of us. It can sleep a few more, and when we've had help there's normally 4 of us, but on this particular journey, just for 2. If it's not a personal question, how long is it? Well, we're talking about the boat here, so our boat is 60 foot long, or just over 18 metres in length, and before you ask, it's 6 foot 10 inches wide, which is a smidgen over 2 metres. Have you had the boat very long? Well, no. 9 months at this point. We picked the boat up at the end of August in 2018, and it's currently May 2019, so yep, 9 months. Paul is stopped from opening the red paddle.
And as if by magic, the lock keeper appears.
There's a problem with a boat in one of the locks further up the flight. I'm being held here for a while. I start to think of all the bad things that can possibly go wrong in a lock and start fearing the worst. As you do. I'm wondering what's going on. Like a well-trained dog watching his owner, I'm stood at the back of the boat watching Paul by the red ground gear post and waiting. Paul comes back to say that the lead boat has had a problem. He also tells me that the boat immediately in front will be reversing back into the lock above me.
So what was the problem with the lead boat? Well, the tiller had got wedged on the lock gate as the water was filling the chamber. It had taken a few moments for the owner to respond to the unfolding drama. He had wanted to operate the lock himself. Despite there being a full complement of volunteers on duty that day, the paddles were closed and the water stopped filling the lock chamber. Thankfully, the situation was quickly assessed and an action plan put into place. The tiller was jammed, so the water had to be drained slightly to allow it to unjam, which meant that the water levels in the locks above needed to be reset so the filling and unfilling worked correctly. I'm not sure this is the right phrase for it, but I'm going to call staircase locks fickle beasts. Everything needed to be done in a certain order for them to work as designed, and it's very easy as a human to be impatient and get it wrong. We're now on the top flight of 5 locks, still heading uphill. The difference in levels between the bottom and the top of the 10 locks is a distance of 75 feet, or 23 meters in new terms. We're just over halfway up at this point. You'll remember from an earlier vlog that Foxton Locks was going to be closed for maintenance between January and March in 2020. The maintenance work was carried out and Alan from My Narrowboat Venture visited the locks during the maintenance period and has vlogged about this, so we'll put a link in the comments. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to get there ourselves. The weather and other factors kept us away. Just watch the gongoozlers at this lock. One tries to raise the boat by gesture alone. Another has a really good gander. Well, at the roof of the boat anyway. It's actually not as bad as it looks. They're all genuinely friendly and keep asking questions about the boat and our travels. We find out about them too. They let us know that their parents had a boat or they once roamed the canals themselves and how they miss it now. At times we're filmed as we film them, filming us. The occasional person helps with the lock gates, which is great. Mark moves the boat into lock 8. With help, I close the gates behind the boat and go to crank the paddle gear open, but stop when I realise the gate that I had just closed had swung back open again. Don't you just hate it when that happens? Mark thinks I'm just trying to increase my step counter for the day. The guy that's interested in our roof is back again. I'm sure he's trying to see how little room there actually is between the side of the boat and the lock. There's a little bit of wiggle room, but not a lot.
Two more locks to go and we're done. Paul has helped with the lock gates here. Lots of willing helpers. If you're a fellow boater, do you find that people always speak to you from the towpath at the most awkward moments? You know, the moments when you have to perform a difficult manoeuvre or need to concentrate on not crashing into something. Well, that's been happening all the way up the flights today. It's been tough having to explain that you need a minute to concentrate so you don't crash the boat into the sill or back into the gate behind you. I do try to be polite despite the constant attention seeking from all around. Don't get me wrong, the whole Foxton experience on a bank holiday weekend has been great. There's been lots of people to talk to as we've ascended the flight. But I am going to admit that at times I felt a little bit like the caged animal at the zoo stood here at the tiller. But at least no one has tried to feed me by throwing food at me. Food. I'm starting to think about having a nice cup of tea and maybe a biscuit or two. No time for that now. The gates are opened and it's time to enter the top lock. So here we are at the top lock. Just watch the gongoozlers having fun crossing the lock gate in front of us. To our right is the shop and cafe located in the old lockkeeper's cottage. There's not much for me to do now but stand and watch the gongoozlers who are stood watching the boat rise in the lock. Is it just me? They don't look shifty at all, do they? Well, I suppose it's that time where we start to draw our vlog to a close by saying, if you've enjoyed our journey up Foxton Locks, then let us know by clicking the thumbs up symbol. If you'd like to subscribe, please do so. It's free, and we promise not to stalk you. If you'd like notifications of our next vlog post, then hit the bell icon and we'll ding you when we're done. Leave us a comment down below about anything you like that you've seen today. We'll happily reply. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.
Thanks for watching. It's been great having you along with us. Join us next time as yet another canal adventure continues.